your thoughts and what have you seen being best practices around measurement of operational excellence?
Okay, so the first thing that operational excellence or business excellence or delivery excellence has been a buzzword for long. But one element that organizations tend to miss out is what Deming said as the founding principle of any quality framework is eliminate fear. And typically if fear is kept as a constant, then you end up using a stick and a carrot approach. So that's something, the first thing that we advocate is that the operator should be free to raise a concern, right? And then the organization's viewpoint or the leadership's role should be that of a janitor, as to remove those problems, right? And that's what they should focus on. Second point that we look at is how do we demystify the entire thing, right? So it should not become like a Latin being spoken by a select few in a predominantly English environment, right? And that typically we've seen that problem with process excellence. They talk a lot of stats, they talk a lot of process orientation and lingos. It can be simplified into simpler English, right? Or everyday talk that organizations measure on. Second is that the last point that we have is one of the good parts is how is your grounds up movement, right? How clued in are people in driving smaller improvements and meaningful improvements at that. And are you able to derive it out of that? So, to summarize, the first one being, is there freedom of operator or at any level raising a concern? B, how does the organization address it? And C, do you have grounds up movement in terms of solving your entire issues that you face? When I say grounds up, I am not advocating against a top-down approach. Top-down approach in most of the organizations that we work with is a given. Because as you mentioned before, it comes down from a strat plan to an op plan, and that kind of works. But grounds up is where we see lack, and that's how we measure progress of a process excellence function.